What's going on, good people? It's your boy Big Jack coming back with another episode of the Bouncer Chronicles. Um, I think the last episode I was talking about fighting, or it was maybe the bounce or something, 559. Anyway, um, it was a it was a couple of particular incidents, and I may have covered them in one of the other episodes. I'm not sure, um, but I never understood why people would come to the club, get drunk, and want to fight security. Like, we've been in the club all night, ain't had nothing to drink. We probably mad at something. We bored, and now you want to fight us? That wasn't a good idea. I remember one day I was coming in, and I worked at the airport while I was working at Club Miami at the same time. So, um, I went to the bathroom to change my shirts to put on my security shirt or to tuck it in to do something. But there was already a guy in there. I didn't know who he was. But he was like leaning real far on the bar with his feet stuck out. And I tripped over his feet. And so, I looked, I was like, what did I trip over? I looked back, I seen it was his feet. And I was like, my bad. I don't know if this dude was on something. He was drunk already. He was tweaking. But he squared up the fight. So, he like, and this how he was doing his lips. I swear to God, he was doing his lips like that. He was like pulling his hat down, squaring up. And I'm like, damn, bro, I tripped over your foot. I said, excuse me, what you want me to do? Kiss your Converse? The fuck? Who you a show enough? And so he wanted to fight. And I looked around because I'm like, okay, this gotta be a joke. This guy don't really want to fight. But he wanted to fight. And just I don't know what happened. I snapped out. So he wanted to fight, so I shoot, boom, scoop him, dump him on the ground, and I'm just, from what they told me, I was just beating on the dude like I was Ralphie in the Christmas story, and I beat him out his Tim's. All his lottery tickets fell out of his pocket. I beat the lottery tickets out of. So I basically knocked the Sonic rings out of him. Grabbed him. They grabbed me to stop me. Like, they had to literally put their hands on me and shake me like, Jack. And I snapped back, and they was like, you just got up, snatched the dude up, drug him out the door, threw him out. Now, from the outside perspective, they used to hear this rumble. That's me hitting the door. They know I'm coming with somebody. So they, get ready. So they said I came out, boom, threw the dude out. He had on but one shoe. Uh, and then I came out because he pissed me off. That was one of the other time I was pissed off was when that guy hit that girl in the head with a Corona bottle. Um, I talked about that in the Miami episode. Um, yeah, he pissed me off. Like, bro, you just walked in. You was the first person in the club, and you want to act up. Damn, I tripped over your shoe because your legs was stuck out so far in the aisle, I didn't see him, and he wanted to fight. So I came back in, and all his stuff. They had all his stuff, and they was walking to the door with it. And I was like, "Give it to me." I snatched a lot of tickets, flung them out the door, and yeah, I took his shoe and threw it on Beaver Highway. I just flung it, just threw it as hard as I could. That mud landed in the middle of Beaver Highway. Um, but yeah, that was one of the only other times that I was pissed off at the club. I mean, I was pissed off a couple times. Um, but that one really like set it off like for real. And you know, and I used to tell because we had the girls that used to come in on uh Friday and Sunday, and I used to tell them all the time, I'm an equal opportunity uh, bouncer. You fight in the club, I'm gonna put you out. You want to fight? Yeah, we fight. So um, I remember one time uh, it was an artist that was in there, and his security had brought his nephew, and the nephew saw some dudes that um, had robbed him. So the security guy came and was like, "Hey man, them dudes over there robbed my nephew," and we was like, "Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all started some shit in here." I said, "Y'all call the police?" No. Okay. So here's what we gonna do. If you and your nephew start some shit, we gonna put you out. Point blank period. We don't care who he is. So we told the nephew, like, hey, either y'all handle that somewhere else, or did you do a police report? No? Okay, didn't think so. Don't do that in here. So they they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight. And so in a fight, we not trying to see who is who. Our job is to separate and extract. That's our job. So, and regardless of how it get done, it get done. So one of my nicknames was Sergeant Slaughter because my patented move was the Cobra Clutch. Some people call it a chicken wing, but it's basically the Cobra Clutch. I got it from Sergeant Slaughter. So you know, apparently I put the guy nephew in the Cobra Clutch, had him going out the door, and so uh, this artist security came and grabbed me. So he grabbed me. I let the nephew go in the same and spun around, hit him with a belly to belly suplex, put him on the ground. Bow. Didn't realize who it was until after I had already, you know, had grabbed him, picked him up, and slammed him. Uh, and he was like, "Hey, hey, hey!" And I looked and see who it was. I said, "Hey, man, I told you, bro, we don't play that in here. Y'all, that whatever streets y'all got going on, y'all do that outside." So, one thing I liked about Club Miami is the owner, Marlon and Champ. They would back you. If you right, you right. They'll back you. Like, hey, yeah, we don't want all that in here. That's bringing heat to us. So, yeah, I put the nephew out. I put him out, and I put the two guys that robbed him. We put them all out. Like y'all deal with that outside. And uh, the security guy I mean, he was pissed. Of course, he was pissed. But I mean, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. So, but we had to tell him he couldn't come back for a minute, so he couldn't come back for a while. He was a little upset about it, but I mean, it is what it is. Um, that's just something you got to deal with. I didn't think he was a pretty good security person anyway. You causing more drama in the club. Now you put out. Now your artist is over here by himself. Now what? So if something would have really broke out and something would have happened to your artist, we weren't gonna let that happen to him. But just in case if something did, now you outside the club. So but yeah, we another not fighting incident, but yeah, usually I would have my birthday at the club. And one year uh, at the club, I was on stage, and there was some guys performing, and so it was only two of them, but they had three microphones. So I had the third microphone, like I was performing. Um, but it's on YouTube. If you Google, I think the name of the group was Minaj. It ain't tricking if you got it. If you look them up at Club Miami on YouTube, you'll see me in the video on stage with them, like I'm part of the group. Because I had on regular clothes. People didn't normally recognize me without my, you know, security stuff on. But I was in regular clothes, so I thought I was performing. Um, and that was one of the last times I got like drunk. Um, I didn't usually work on Sundays, but apparently I told the guy at the door that I was gonna work for him. Didn't remember until they called me. I was like, Jack, where you at? What are you talking about? Why you ain't work? I don't work on Sundays. You told Grub you was gonna work. Oh shit. You still want me to come? Yes, nigga, we need you. So I had to go. It was hilarious. But yeah, that was one of the last times um I got drunk. But I did have my birthday there a couple more times. Invited people from my job. They came and they had a good time. So um yeah, Club Miami was one of the real family type atmospheres. It was. Yep. Well, that's the end of this episode. I got a couple more episodes I got lined up, and I'm gonna knock them out, and I'm gonna get back with y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.